So, college is on your mind, right? Specifically, maybe getting a head start in STEM. And you've probably heard about RGA's dual enrollment program.
Yeah, it's a bit of a maze out there when it comes to dual enrollment.
To be honest, it took us a while to really figure out what they offer.
But that's what we're here for.
Exactly. So RGA, it's an online U.S. high school, but they've got this unique thing going on.
They actually offer real college-level courses in physics and chemistry while you're still in high school.
And not just like intro to kind of stuff. We're talking legit courses that can get you actual college credit.
It's like a sneak peek into university life. Shows them you're ready for the real deal.
Okay, but before we get too excited, we gotta ask, is RGA legit? How do we even know if their courses hold water?
Well, they're officially recognized by the U.S. Department of Education for one thing.
Okay, that's a good start.
Plus, they've got the College Board seal of approval.
Now that's big. The College Board, they don't just hand those out to anyone.
Exactly. And here's another layer of reassurance. They're Cognia accredited.
Which is, like, the gold standard for educational institutions, right?
That's the one. And get this, they've designed their program to align with those really selective UC and UK university application systems.
So if you're thinking big, like those top-tier universities, this program might just be your ticket.
And it's not just about checking boxes on an application.
It's more than that.
Taking on dual enrollment, especially in tough subjects like physics and chemistry, tells universities you're serious. Shows them you can handle the wheat.
It's like saying, hey, I'm not afraid of a challenge. In fact, bring it on.
Universities eat that up.
So let's dive into the program structure. First things first. These courses are no walk in the park. They're designed to be intensive, running from October 28th to December 21st.
Yeah, you're basically squeezing a semester's worth of learning into just a couple of months.
But hey, the good news is you're not pulling all-nighters every single night. Classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays for that first week, then they shift to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
And they're evening classes, too. Either 8:00 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. or 8:40 p.m. to 11:00 p.m. Depends if you go with physics or chemistry.
Ah, see, there's the catch. You gotta choose. No double dipping this time around.
Schedules overlap.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost. Because, let's be real, these kinds of programs don't come cheap.
You're right. The standard fee is $5,150. But, and this is big, there's a special scholarship just for students in Taiwan, which brings it down to $3,600.
Okay, that's a pretty significant difference. Makes it a whole lot more accessible for students here.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've talked about what RGA offers, their credibility, which is solid, by the way, and even the cost. But let's get to the good stuff. The content. Physics and chemistry, they're the bedrock of any STEM field.
It's more than just textbook stuff, though.
Right, it's got to be more than that.
It's about learning how to think critically, solve complex problems. It's about understanding how the world works on a fundamental level.
For example, physics isn't just equations on a chalkboard. It's about understanding things like how rockets break free from gravity, or even how those tiny magnets in your phone actually work.
Exactly. And trust me, those skills, they're useful no matter what you end up doing in life.
And then there's chemistry. It's a whole other world.
It's not just about, mixing colorful liquids in beakers, like in the movies.
Although I bet there's a bit of that too.
Oh, for sure. But think about it. Chemistry is behind everything. The food we eat, the medicine we take, it's all chemistry.
Yeah, that's true. Like developing new batteries for those electric cars everyone's talking about, or even life-saving drugs. That all comes down to understanding chemical reactions, right?
Exactly. It's about getting down to the atomic level, seeing how matter interacts and shapes the world around us.
That's actually pretty amazing when you think about it. So we've got physics, we've got chemistry, both super important. And these courses aren't just about racking up college credits either.
They're about going deep, really getting to grips with subjects that have the power to change the world, and developing those critical thinking skills that everyone's after.
Speaking of requirements, what do you need to even get into these RGA courses?
It's not a cakewalk, that's for sure. They're looking for students who are ready to step up. Algebra the second is a must.
Makes sense. Gotta know the basics.
Absolutely. And some prior science coursework under your belt doesn't hurt either. But here's the upside. If you haven't taken those big standardized tests yet, like the IELTS or TOEFL.
Yeah, those can be a pain.
They offer internal assessments. So that takes some pressure off.
That's good to know. Now, what about students who aren't necessarily set on a U.S. college?
Great question. This program has some surprising benefits, even if the whole U.S. college thing isn't your main goal.
Like what?
Well, if you're thinking about staying in Taiwan, These courses can actually give you an edge with that Taiwan 108 curriculum framework.
Okay, for those of us who are clueless, what exactly is the Taiwan 108 curriculum?
So it's this new educational reform here in Taiwan. It's all about interdisciplinary learning, real-world applications, a more student-centered approach.
Interesting. How do these RGA courses fit into that?
Well, for one, they're designed to be super interactive, engaging, which aligns with what the 108 framework is all about. Plus, the skills you build, critical thinking, problem-solving, scientific literacy, those are all highly valued within that framework.
So it's like a head start on the kind of learning that's becoming more and more important, no matter where you end up studying.
Exactly. And on top of that, you gain proof of international learning experiences.
Right, we touched on that earlier, but what difference does that actually make? Why is that proof such a big deal?
It's pretty straightforward. The world's a global village now, right? Universities, employers, they're all looking for people who have that global perspective. Adaptability.
So having experience learning in an international setting, even if it's online, shows you're willing to embrace different cultures, different ways of thinking.
Precisely. It tells them you're not afraid to step outside your comfort zone, that you're ready for the challenges and the opportunities of a globalized world.
We've covered a lot of ground here. Program details, costs, the content itself, what you need to get in, and even some of the perks you might not expect.
While all that practical stuff is important, it's the experience itself that really matters.
It's about more than just checking boxes.
Exactly. Picture yourself in the thick of it, wrestling with those physics problems. Or maybe you're designing an experiment to test out a chemical reaction.
And those aha moments where it all finally clicks.
The best.
But let's be real, these courses are going to push you. They're modeled after university-level courses, so the standards are high.
They don't expect you to just coast through. That's where the support system kicks in. The instructors are all experienced educators.
So you're in good hands. And they're not just talking at you through a screen, are they?
No way. RGA is big on interaction, collaboration. They want you engaged, asking questions, learning from each other.
Which is especially important online. It's easy to feel isolated when you're learning remotely.
Absolutely. They've actually got some really cool features built in to combat that. Remember those bilingual teaching assistants we mentioned?
Right. They're like your secret weapon.
Exactly. They're there to give you that extra support, whether you're stuck on a concept or just need to talk through a problem.
It's like having a built-in study buddy, just a message away. That's a game changer for online learning.
And then there's the structured schedule. Regular assignments.
Which, let's be honest, can be a lifesaver. Helps you stay on track.
Definitely. We've all been there. That deadline creeps up on you. But that's the beauty of a well-designed program. It gives you the structure and support you need to succeed, even when you're juggling a million things.
So much of what we've talked about is the what and the how of RGA's dual enrollment program. But let's bring it back to the why. Why should our listeners even consider this?
$1 million question, right? Well, first off, imagine starting your freshman year of college with a semester's worth of credits already in the bag.
That's huge.
It's a massive advantage, especially if you're aiming for those really competitive programs or thinking about a double major.
Plus, the confidence boost alone would be incredible. Going into college knowing you've already handled university-level coursework that's got to feel good.
You can really smooth that transition into college life. You know what to expect. You've already honed those time management skills.
And it's not just about getting ahead either. It's also about exploration. Maybe you're into STEM, but you're not sure which path to take. This program lets you try out both physics and chemistry. Get a feel for what clicks.
It helps you make a more informed choice instead of just following the crowd.
It's kind of like you're at a crossroads, right?
Yeah.
And you got to pick which way to go.
And each path, it leads you somewhere different experiences, different opportunities.
Exactly. With this program, it's not just physics or chemistry you're choosing. It's a whole way of looking at the world.
Think about it. Physics, that could be your path to unraveling the universe. From the tiniest particles to those massive galaxies.
And then there's chemistry. You could end up exploring the building blocks of life itself, or creating new tech to fight climate change, or cure diseases.
Who knows? Maybe this whole deep dive has sparked something new in you. Got you curious about fields beyond physics and chemistry.
That's the thing about learning. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. It's like opening one door and then bam, there's a whole hallway of other doors just waiting.
And that's what makes it exciting. It never really ends. Always something new to discover.
So if you're thinking about RGA's program, remember, it's not just about the credits, the grades. Even that boost on your college application?
It's bigger than that.
What is it then?
It's about pushing yourself, diving into the unknown, finding your own way in the world of STEM.
It's about realizing what you're capable of, becoming a better thinker, a problem solver.
And who knows? This might be the start of something amazing for you. Breakthroughs, discoveries, a future you hadn't even imagined.
So keep asking those questions. Keep exploring what makes you tick. And never stop pushing those boundaries. You never know where you'll end up.
The world needs curious minds like yours. People who want to learn, to grow, to make a real difference.
And we'll be here cheering you on every step of the way. Because this journey, it's all about exploring, discovering, and becoming the best version of yourself.